Don't twist, and thank God I get to do this Raw recap and review from August 10th, 2026 in Norfolk, Virginia. And if you're new to the channel, I do WWE content, so if you enjoy that, please subscribe to the channel for more. Every week we do a Raw recap and review, and we do the reviews for the PLEs and WWE as well. Also, we do WWE 2K26 content as well, with a new My Rise video coming out this Friday. I do music. I just dropped HTSG 2 with my great friend, Swear God. It's on all streaming platforms. You can check the link. You can check the description for the links. And my YouTube channel has the playlist if you want to listen to it on YouTube. So now let's get into the first segment overall. With most Raws, we start off with talking, and we have a little interesting. We have Solo Sikoa coming out, doing his little Jey Uso impersonation, doing his little yeeting. He says, Solo Dolo is now in your city, a little play on Jey. And he says, he's here because last week the Bloodline took out Royce Keys, making him out of action. He ended up being hurt. He is out indefinitely. So now he's here to handle business with his family. And that's when Jey Uso pops out. Everyone's going crazy with the yeeting, but he's not yeeting. He's super serious, and he's like, you really want to do this? You really want to put our whole family business into the world and everything? The main issue we have with you, Solo, is that you just need to run the play. Roman set the play, join the Bloodline, and all of this fighting and everything would just end. And Solo's like, I already told you, man, I'm cool where I'm at. And he says, but what's up with this falling in line thing? Like, did it help you? You went from the champion to being a chump. You ain't got no belt. You ain't got nothing going on for you. And he just says, I'm not coming back. That leads to Jey telling him to shut up for him being disrespectful and spoiled. And he says that he says without him and the Bloodline, he wouldn't be here. He's the one that raised him, fed him, changed his diapers and everything. And now he's acting all like this. So he says, you know what? I got a way we can handle all these problems. Me versus you tonight. And if I win, you have to join the Bloodline, join the play. And the funny part is when Jey said that, after that, he says, this is your warning shot. Bow! And Solo's like, is everybody good? Did anybody get shot? Anybody get shot? He was like, yeah, I see what you're saying, Jey. He says, I accept your offer. And he says, hey, if I win, the Bloodline has to leave me alone. I'm done with it. I don't have to deal with these problems anymore. And he also said, now that is my warning shot. Pew. So yeah, that's going to be the main event of tonight, and I can't wait to get to that. But that's going to be in part 2. So yes, you're gonna have to watch part 2 to know what's happening with that. Then next up, we get the first match in the AAA tournament to fight Roman Reigns in Mexico City, and it's having Raw's Penta, versus Laredo Kid from AAA. And Laredo and Penta, they have a long history, a long beef. So when Penta gets into the ring, he tries to go for the handshake, but Laredo says, I ain't rocking with that handshake. That leads to Penta going, okay. And then they get into a little chain wrestling back and forth. Penta gets the advantage with Laredo trying to do a flip dodge out of it, but Penta hits him with a kick straight to the stomach. But Laredo fights back from Penta. He goes to the top rope, hits it with the missile drop kick. But Penta says, I can do it too. Go back to the top rope, hit a crossbody by him, and then he hits him with a hurricanrana. That leads to Laredo Kid rolling out to the outside. Penta tries to go for the tope, but Laredo catches his leg, pulls him down. They fight on the outside. Laredo knocks him down. He goes to the top rope and then hits the standing moonsault off the top rope to the outside, and that leads on to a commercial break with Laredo Kid with the advantage. Then we get back with Laredo having an advantage at first, but Penta fights back. He gets his combo in. He hits the reverse sling blade on him right into a big tilt-a-whirl slam, and then he gets him in the corner for the stalling drop kick round right there. Goes for the pin. 1, 2. Kick out from Laredo. Laredo fights back, hits him with a poison rana, which is basically a reverse hurricanrana, but he spiked his head right onto the ground. Goes to the top rope, then goes for the 450s. Bam! 1, 2. Kick out from Penta though. They're having a crazy back and forth. Penta gets up, hits that man with a super kick right into a big backstabber, which is jumping on his back in a backpack style with his knees, slamming right down, goes for the pin. 1, 2, but a kick out from Laredo. Then they both get into a big strike exchange with slaps, chops, kicks, back and forth with the advantage. Goes to Penta though. He hits the big super kick. Laredo rolls out to the ring. Penta hits that man with the tope on Hilo, which is basically a swanton bomb, a front flip over the top rope. He gets him back into the ring, hits him with the Penta driver. 1, 2, kick out though. Laredo picks him up and hits him with his own version of a driver, slams him right down right there. He goes to the top rope, tries to go for the spinal tap, but he misses. Penta takes that, uses that as advantage, runs over to him, Mexican Destroyer. 1, 2, 3. Good W for Penta. He moves on into the tournament. Good back and forth match. Great way to start off Raw. Good lucha action. I'm pretty sure Penta's going to be making it all the way to the finals. I give this match a good 4-star. Great way to open up Raw. Then we get backstage with the Vision being interviewed by Byron Saxton. And they're basically asking about what's going on with the Alpha Academy. And Logan Paul says that the Alpha Academy is beneath them and that they're losers. And that's the main reason why Maxine left them. Maxine goes on to say that Tozawa has no chance against Austin Theory. And so they're geeked for their match going on. They walk away. But Braun Breaker, he's standing there. He's stuck the whole time. He's pissed. And Byron Saxton's like, are you okay, Braun? Would you want to say anything? And Braun asked him, what do you think about Oba Femi? Do you think he's the future? And Byron's scared to answer that question because he knows Braun is pissed off. Braun just walks off of that on that one. Then we get to our second match of the night, and it is Austin Theory with the Vision with him versus Ozawa, missing out with Otis because, Otis got that chair to the head on the ring post, so he's solo dolo. And that man, Tozawa, crazy with the energy, instantly tried to jump on that man Theory, punching back and forth, but Theory gets him off him, slams him down. And then he gets him in the corner, hit him with strikes, and he's already on the BS. He takes that man headband off, puts it on his head, but Tozawa ain't rocking with that. He fights back, hits him with the middle rope hurricanrana, which makes Theory roll outside the ring. That makes Tozawa get hype. He's yelling, but Austin Theory jumps into the ring for the rolling clothesline back onto him. Then that leads to Austin Theory now taking the advantage, dominating Tozawa. Tozawa tries to keep fighting back, but every time he fights back, he grabs him, hits him with a big slam, knocking him down. Then he picks up Tozawa, strong Irish whip, throw into the corner, grabs his head, slams him down to the mat. He's talking crap the whole time, pointing at Maxine, and then he's hitting him with multiple boots, and even using his head on the rope, just stomping on it. Tozawa fights back. He gets a big head of steam, but Austin Theory finishes off by grabbing him, slamming him down to the ground. That's how we get to a commercial break. We get back from the commercial break with Austin Theory grabbing Tozawa's head and saying, "Look at Maxine, yeah, you want to kiss? You want to kiss? Lean in, Maxine." And show him who could really get a kiss, and Maxine kisses him on the cheek. More BS like that. And by the way, Braun Breaker is on the outside of the ring, just stuck the whole time. He's not geeked with what's going on. Theory gets Tozawa back into the ring. He Irish whips him, picks him up, but he gets turned into a pop-up DDT by Tozawa. He's getting his comeback in. He gets him in the corner boot, haluva kick. Then he gets him down on the ground with a big shining wizard. Right into a big jumping standing senton. 1, 2, kick out from Theory, but Tozawa's still hype. He grabs his shirt. He rips it off. He hits that man with multiple kicks like Daniel Bryan. Kicks, right into a big super kick to the head. But as he's getting more steam, Theory hits that man with the crazy big elbow. I think it's called the lights out, and he goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3 for Austin Theory. Entertaining match. Austin Theory is a really good heel. Matches are usually boring, but I do love the high impact stuff they're doing in a lot of the comeback spots with Akira. But this match is a 3.5 stars. It could have been more fun and more entertaining. Nevertheless, that leads to the Theory then starting attacking Tozawa after the match. And then he tries to grab a chair. And he's trying to do the same thing he did to Otis. But Adam Pearce and associates come out. They stop him. They take the chair away from him. But back in the ring, though, there's Braun Breaker saying, "It's time to crush." Oba Femi popped out, saving Tozawa's life. And it's funny, Theory tried to run into him. He got instant with his big boot, and Oba didn't care about him anymore. Just kept staring at Braun Breaker. That leads to him going into the apron, trying to go into the ring, but the Adam Pearce and associates get into the ring. They split them apart. They don't let them have it face to face. Hey man, that Oba Braun match is gonna feed families, man. I can't wait for that. Cause Braun is obviously tired of what he's doing right now. So fighting Oba would be a great step for him. Let me get backstage again. We got Rey Mysterio getting interviewed about the first match of the tournament going on. He says Laredo Kid went crazy, and then he says, Roman's gonna have his hands full for whoever wins the tournament, at least the Dragon League. He always thank Rey Mysterio when he see him. I get it, I would too. You know what I'm saying? He always thank him, but then Ray's like, you don't need to do that, man. And then Dom pops out and interrupts and says, Ray, why didn't you put me into the tournament? You know I'm the AAA Mega Champion. That's the main title in AAA. He says, how do you not have your champion there? And Ray's like, oh, you wanted another handout, man? You already see what happened with the handout you got now. And Dom said, but you'll give Dragon Lee the handout, huh? And then Dragon Lee said, hold on now, you can't be disrespecting Ray like that. You know what, man? Let me go talk to Pierce so we can run this fade later on tonight. Dom says, okay, I'm cool with that. He says, that's cool, because I'm going to show you why I'm the greatest Mysterio of all time. So on part 2, another part 2 match. You're gonna see Dom versus Lee, but you gotta watch part 2. Then we get to our last promo segment of the video. We get Stephanie Vaquer popping out, and I love her outfit. She looks like a waiter at a restaurant. The button up, the black button up with the black jeans is funny. She gets into the ring. She returned last week fighting the Judgment Day and having stands off of Becky Lynch. She's in the ring. She says, finally gets to talk to the people. She says she missed this ring and that she missed the WWE Universe. But what she really, really missed was the Judgment Day and seeing them being scared of her. She says she's going to knock them all down one by one. And she's going to say, like, Raquel, I've been whooping Raquel every single time I fight her. She's no problem with me. She says Roxanne is a dead woman. So I'd be scared. And then she goes on to say with Liv that the title that she has, it belongs to her. That leads to the man popping out, Becky Lynch. She gets into the ring, and it's kind of weird with Becky Lynch because she's kind of like acting like she's an in-betweener right now. She's like an anti-hero. She's like doing like very face stuff, like saying, the man has come around to Norfolk, Virginia. But then later on, she gets really disrespectful when it comes to Stephanie. She goes on to say that she gets in the ring and says, hola, señorita, ¿cómo está? At least Stephanie responded back, basically saying, what do you want? And Becky's like, what do I want? What I want is to fight Liv. We have two different reasons why we want to fight Liv. She wants to fight Liv because of revenge. Becky wants to fight Liv because, like, she want to whoop her, and that she feels like she's turning back the women's division back to the old days where the belt wasn't getting defended and nobody was really wrestling on TV. And then she goes on to say, Stephanie, I do respect, she doesn't really know much about her. Like, she calls her an enigma. But says, like, I can't deny the impact you've made on Raw, especially with how much you've been gone all the time, being injured and everything. That she says, that's unlucky, and I get it, but she says the belt here, though, needs good luck. They don't need the bad luck dealing with you, so the belt should be going to Becky, to herself. And she says that Stephanie doesn't deserve it. And Stephanie says, Becky, I do not care. And says, hey, if you want to get in my way, I'm going to show you what I am. Does a mic drop on that. She leaves, and Becky's staring at her. But from behind, Liv Morgan pops out, attacks Becky, tries to hit her with Oblivion, but Becky kicks her away from her and then grabs her, hits her with the Beck Exploder. It leads to Stephanie running back into the ring, trying to hit a big punch on the Liv, but Liv dodges out of that, runs out the ring, and then they get into a big face-off between Stephanie and Becky in the ring, talking about, I want the belt, I want the belt, I want the belt. That match will cook. It's probably going to lead on to a triple threat, but Stephanie, Becky, that's going to cook for real. And then we get one last segment backstage with LA Knight being interviewed, talking about how he felt about last week dealing with Roman. But as this interview's happening, Solo Sikoa pops up, basically trying to ask LA Knight for help. But LA said, we had our moment at SummerSlam, man. We not doing that again. And Solo keeps trying to tell him, man, like, hey, you're not fighting just Roman. You're fighting the whole bloodline. So if I lose this match, it's going to get crazy. And LA just, like, says, I'll think about it, basically. Now, that is going to be the end of part 1 of this Raw Recap and Review. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Also, click up here so you can see part 2, man. Remember, y'all, Jesus loves you. Watch part 2.